Good morning, my children, and welcome back to our science classes. As we have already started our lesson number 7, and in this lesson number 7, my child, we have started the topic the cell structure and the function. So, my children, in our first video we have already seen the definition of the cell, what is cell. Then we have seen how the bodies of the living organisms, whether they are the plant, animals, or the microorganisms, they are being made up of the cell. How the cell is the building block of the body of the all the living organisms. Then we have seen that all the cells are not of the same shape and the size or the number. The different cells have the different shape, the different cells have the different size, and the cells can also, the number of the cells can also differ in the organism's body. Some organisms are there whose body is being simply made up of only one cell, and some organisms are there whose body is being made up of so many cells. So on the basis of the number of cells present in the body, suppose the organism body is being made up of only one cell, it is called the unicellular organism. For example, all type of the microorganisms, like for example amoeba, bacteria, endormita, or the other type of the microorganism, they are simply made up of the only one cell. And suppose if we are going to talk about the bodies of the plant, animals, or the human beings, their bodies being made up of so many cells, so they are coming under the category of the multicellular organisms. So my child, then we have also seen the level of organizations in the animal's body. Then we have seen that the cell is the starting part of the body. So a cell from the tissue from the organ from the organ system, and the organ, when so many organ systems are being developed, they form the complete organism. So my children, today we are going to start the topic that is going to say something, weaving the cell. Weaving the cell means this, seeing the cell. How can we see these cells? Actually, my children, these cells are so small that we cannot see them with our naked eye or the eyes alone. To see the cells, we need a microscope. With the help of the microscope, we can see the cells. So to see the cells, we need the materials. Like the microscope, first of all, we need the microscope. Without microscope, we cannot see the cells, because these cells are so small or so minute, so tiny that we cannot see them with the naked eye. They can be seen with the help of the microscope. So along with the microscope, what are the other things that you need to see the cell? So you need the slide. What is slide? A slide is a rectangular piece of a glass. A slide is a rectangular piece of a glass. Then you need the cover slip. What is cover slip? A cover slip is also a square shaped piece of glass. A cover slip is also a square shaped piece of a glass. Then you need the glycerine. A glycerine is a little bit water-like material which is being added to the material. Then after the specimen. What is a specimen? A specimen is the material that you want to see. A specimen is the material that you want to see under the microscope. So we cannot see the cells by our naked eye. For seeing the cells, we need the microscope. And along with the microscope, you need the slide. A slide is a rectangular piece of a glass. Then you need the cover slip. A cover slip is a square piece of a glass. Then you need the glycerine, which is being added to the material. Then you need the specimen. What is specimen? The material that you want to see under a microscope. The material that you want to see under the microscope, that is called the specimen. Now, how can you make the slide and how can you observe it under the microscope? First of all, my children, we are taking the glass slide. We are taking the glass slide. Then upon the glass slide, we are putting some glycerine. We are going to put some glycerine. After putting some glycerine, we are going to keep the study material. So what we are going to do, my children? First of all, we are going to take the glass slide. Then we are going to put some glycerine over it. Then after that, we are going to keep the study material. After keeping the study material, my children, we are going to put the cover slip. Upon it. We will put the cover slip. Now we will observe it under the microscope. When we will see it under the microscope, we can see the different cells. In that material. We can see the different cells in this material. What are the cells are there in the material? We can easily see. So to prepare a slide, first of all, we have to take a glass slide, a rectangular piece of the glass. Then you have to put the glycerine upon it. Then upon the glycerine, you have to keep the specimen or the study material. Then upon it, you have to put a rectangular with the square piece of the cover slip. Then see it under the microscope. Then you will see the different type of the cells present in that material. But before that, my child, suppose you want to see the cells of the microorganisms, for example the amoeba, then how you can see it and how you can see the microorganisms like the amoeba in the water. First of all, take a glass slide, then after that put little 1 or 2 drops of the dirty water. Put one or two drops of the dirty water over it, then put a little amount of the glycerin, and after putting the little amount of glycerin, just cover it with the help of the cover slip, and see it under the microscope. So in this drop of the dirty water, you can see the different shapes of the microorganisms. You can see the different shapes of the different type of the microorganisms. Bacteria can be there, the protozoa can be there, paramecium can be there. You can see the different type of microorganisms in this drop of the dirty water. So my child, like this beta we can prepare the slide and we can see it under the microscope. Now my child, after that beta we come to the topic that is going to see. So to see the cell, we need the microscope, glass slide, cover slip, glycerin and specimen. Now what is the use of this cover slip? Suppose why we are keeping this cover slip upon the study material? Actually this cover slip is preventing the material from spreading on the glass slide, and this cover slip is also preventing the material from coming in contact of the microscope lens. So see my child, suppose this is the slide, we have kept the study material, and upon the study material we have kept the cover slip. So this cover slip is preventing this material from much more spreading, as well as this cover slip is preventing this material from coming in contact with the microscope when we are observing it under the microscope. So my child, these were the topic about the viewing the cells. So now beta, after that we are going to come to the topic that is going to say something about structure of a generalized cell. STRUCTURE, structure of a generalized, GENERALIZ, generalized cell. Structure of a generalized cell. Actually my children, we have seen that the different cells have the different shape, different size. Different cells have different shape and the different size. But almost all type of the cells have some basic structure. So what are the basic structure which are being present in each and every cell? What are the shape and the size of the cell in there? They are called the generalized cell. Some common structures are there which are being present in all type of the cell. So what are the basic structures which are being present in all type of the cell? And when they are being present in all type of the cell, it is called a generalized cell. So let us see what are the structure of a generalized cell. Please be attentive. See, first of all my child, suppose if we are going to see the cell, suppose this is the cell. So this cell have the outer boundary. Listen very carefully, look on the board. First of all, see this cell have the outer boundary. The outer boundary of the cell. Suppose this is the outer boundary of the cell. The outer boundary of the cell is called the cell membrane. It is the outer boundary of the cell. It is called the cell membrane. MEMBRANE, cell membrane. Okay, my child. So the outer boundary of all the cell, is called the cell membrane. Then after the cell membrane, the water-like material or the gel-like material is present inside the cell. After the cell membrane, the water-like material or the gel-like material is present inside the cell. It is called the cytoplasm. cytoplasm. So cell membrane will be there in all the cells. Cytoplasm will be there in all the cells. Then suppose if we are going to see in the center of the cell, we can see the nucleus. NUCLEUS, nucleus. So nucleus. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. So my children, suppose if we are going to see any type of the cell, all the cells will have all these three basic structure. First of all, the outer boundary of the cell called the cell membrane. Then the water-like material or the gel-like material present in the cell, that is called the cytoplasm. Then in the center of the cell we can see the nucleus. So these are the three things which are being present in each and every cell. Whatever the shape and the size of the cell will be there. Then after this, my children, we can see the little bit dish-shaped structure. We can see the dish-shaped structure. The dish-shaped structure which are being present inside the cell, they are called the Golgi bodies. GOLGI, Golgi apparatus, APPARATUS, Golgi apparatus or body. This is called the Golgi apparatus or the body. So much after that we can see the dish shape structure inside the cell. They are called the Golgi apparatus or the Golgi body. My child, after that, so let us see the function of this Golgi body, my child. So see, this Golgi body, it secretes chemical substances like enzymes, hormones and proteins that help in the various functions. So this Golgi body is secreting the various type of the proteins, various type of the enzymes and the various type of the hormones which are helping for the various functions inside the cell. Then after this particle we can see the small spherical structure. These small spherical structures are called the vacuoles. V-A-C-U-O-L-S vacuoles. These vacuoles are filled with water, minerals and the salt. Then after that we can see the vacuoles are the spherical. The vacuoles are the spherical structure present inside the cell, and these vacuoles are being filled up with the water, salt and the minerals. Now after that we can see the much more smaller rounded body. We can see the much more smaller rounded body. They are called the lysosomes. L-Y-S-O-S-O-M-E, lysosomes. We can see the lysosome. These lysosomes also secrete the certain type of the enzymes. And they also help in engulfing the cell. Or destroying the cell in the case of emergency. So my child, after that we can see much more smaller rounded body inside the cell. They are called the lysosomes. These lysosomes contain the special type of the enzymes which are capable of destroying the cell or engulfing the cell. That's why these lysosomes are also called the suicidal bags of the cell. Then my children, after that we can see the endoplasmic reticulum. We can see the endoplasmic reticulum, my child. This endoplasmic reticulum, my child, it is of two types: smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. We can see the endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum which have the ribosomes attached upon it. It is called the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and the endoplasmic reticulum which do not have the ribosomes attached upon it. It is called the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. So this endoplasmic reticulum, it helps in the synthesis, storage and transport of cell product. So this endoplasmic reticulum, it is helping in the synthesis, storage and the transport of the materials in the cell. This endoplasmic reticulum is of two types: rough endoplasmic reticulum and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum contains the ribosomes upon it, and the smooth endoplasmic reticulum do not contain the ribosomes upon it. So it is the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. So my child, so the structure which is being present near the nucleus is called the endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum synthesize, store and do the transportation of the cell product. This endoplasmic reticulum is of two types: smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. The endoplasmic reticulum which have the ribosomes attached upon it, it is called the rough endoplasmic reticulum. And the endoplasmic reticulum which do not contain the ribosomes attached upon it, it is called the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Then my children, after that we can see the much more small spherical structure. They are called the ribosome. We can see this much more small structure, they call the ribosome. R-I-B-O-S-O-M is ribosome. We can see the much more small structure, these are called the ribosomes. These ribosomes help in the synthesis of the protein. You all know the work of the protein in our body. In the body of the living organism. So these ribosomes help in the synthesis of the proteins or the making of the proteins. Then my children, after that we can see the mitochondria. We can see the such little bit type of structures. They are called the mitochondria. Actually the mitochondria are known as the powerhouse of the cell. We can see the mitochondria. These mitochondria are known as the powerhouse of the cell. Actually the process of respiration takes place in the mitochondria. We can see this structure is called the mitochondria. M-I-T-O-C-H-O-N-D-R-I-A, mitochondria. So my child said this mitochondria. These act at the site of energy production and are therefore called the powerhouse of the cell. This mitochondria are called the powerhouse of the cell because the process of respiration, it means the breaking down of the food. The breaking down of the food to release the energy from the food goes on in this mitochondria. So the mitochondria are known as the powerhouse of the cell because in the mitochondria the process of respiration goes on, where the food is being broken down to release the energy from the food. In the same way, the ribosomes are known as the protein factories. Ribosomes are known as the protein factories because the ribosomes help in the production of so much amount of the protein. Ribosomes are known as the protein factories because they help in the production of so much protein, and the mitochondria called the powerhouse of the cell because the process of respiration takes place in the mitochondria, and mitochondria help in the release of energy. Mitochondria help in the release of energy from the food. So my child, all these are the structure of a generalized cell. So it is the structure of a generalized cell, my child. So it contains the various parts. Let us revise once again. First of all, the cell contains the outer boundary. The outer boundary of the cell is called the cell membrane. Then inside the cell we can see the water-like material or the gel-like material, that is called the cytoplasm. Then in the center of the cell we can see the nucleus. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. This whole cell is working under the control of this nucleus. This whole cell is working under the control of the nucleus. Then after that we can see the Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus or the Golgi body. These Golgi apparatus, Golgi bodies are the half dish shaped structure. Half dish shaped structure. So they are the Golgi bodies. They help in they secrete chemical substances like enzymes, hormones and the proteins which help in the various functions in the body. Then we have seen about the mitochondria, they are the powerhouse of the cell. We have seen about the ribosome, they help in the synthesis of the protein. Then we have seen about the vacuoles which store the water, food, salt and the minerals. Then we have seen the lysosome which are secreting the special type of the enzyme. Then we have seen the endoplasmic reticulum. This endoplasmic reticulum, it also helps in the transportation of the cell product. Then we have seen this endoplasmic reticulum is of two types, smooth endoplasmic reticulum and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So and then we have seen about the vacuoles and all Golgi body. So see, suppose all the cells, whatever the cell is there, whatever the shape of the cell is there, whatever the size of the cell is there, all the cells will contain some basic structure. All the cells will contain some of this basic structure. When all of these basic structures are being present in the cell, then it is called the generalized cell. Generalized, G-E-N-E-R-A-L-I-Z-D, generalized cell. So it is the structure of a generalized cell. But my children, suppose that we are going to see much more deeper. We can see the different cells differ from one another. Different cells differ from one another in one or two content. So my child, let us see something about the plant cell. So my children, suppose if we are going to see about the plant cell and the animal cell, then listen my children very carefully. Say, suppose here is the plant cell and here it is the animal cell. So listen very carefully my child. So see, suppose this is the plant cell and suppose this is the animal cell. So see my child, plant cell. This plant cell contains the cell wall. It contains the large vacuoles. L-A-R-G-E, large vacuoles. V-A-C-U-O-L is large vacuoles. Cell wall, large vacuoles. And third one is the chloroplast. C-H-L-O-R-O-P-L-A-S-T, chloroplast. So suppose the plant cell, how the plant cell is being different from the animal cell. Plant cell contains the cell wall, large vacuoles and the chloroplast. But animal cell do not contain cell wall. Then second one, it contains the small vacuoles. It does not contain chloroplast absent. No chloroplast. C-H-L-O-R-O-P-L-A-S-T. No chloroplast. So much as, see, suppose we are going to see the plant cell and animal cell, how both of them are being different to a certain extent. So the plant cell contains the cell wall, it contains the large vacuoles, it contains the chloroplast. Whereas the animal cell do not contain the cell wall, it contains the small vacuoles, it do not contain the chloroplast. But what are the structures? What are the basic structure which are being present both in the plant and the animal cell? So listen my child, mitochondria. Mitochondria is there in the plant cell also, mitochondria is there in the animal cell also. Mitochondria is there in the plant cell as well as the animal cell. Then it contains the Golgi apparatus. G-O-L-G-I, Golgi apparatus. Golgi apparatus is being present in the plant cell. It is also present in the case of the animal cell. Golgi apparatus is being present in the case of the plant cell as well as the animal cell. Then after that we can see the endoplasmic reticulum. E-N-D-O, endoplasmic reticulum. It is present in the plant cell. It is also present in the animal cell. Then we can see the nucleus. Nucleus is present in the plant cell. It is present in the animal cell. Then we can see the cytoplasm. It is there in the case of the plant cell as well as in the case of the animal cell. Then the sixth one is the ribosomes. Ribosomes. Ribosomes are there in the case of plant cell as well as in the case of the animal cell. So once again, let us see how the plant cell and the animal cell differ from one another, and what are the basic structures. What are the basic structures which are being present in the case of the plant cell as well as the animal cell. So plant cell contain the cell wall. Animal cell do not contain the cell wall. Plant cell contain the large vacuoles. Animal cell do not contain the large vacuoles. Plant cell contain the chloroplast. Animal cell do not contain the chloroplast. Now let us see the basic structure which are being present in both plant and animal cell. So the basic structures which are being present in both plant and animals is the mitochondria. Mitochondria is there in the plant cell as well as in the animal cell. Golgi apparatus there in the case of plant cell as well as the animal cell. Endoplasmic reticulum which is there in the plant cell as well as the animal cell. Nucleus which is there in the case of plant cell as well as the animal cell. Cytoplasm which is there in the case of plant cell as well as the animal cell, and the ribosome which is there in the case of plant cell and the animal cell. So some basic structures are there which are being present in the case of plant cell and the animal cell, and some special structures are there which are being present only in the case of plant cell, not present in the case of the animal cell. So after this my child, let us see the structure of the plant cell. So suppose if we are going to see the structure of the plant cell, my child, let us see, my child. Okay. So my child, see, suppose this is the structure of the plant cell. So first of all, we can see the outer boundary. We can see the outer boundary of the plant cell. So this outer boundary of the plant cell, is called the cell wall. This outer boundary of this plant cell is called the cell wall. This cell wall is made of cellulose. C-E-L-L-U-L-O-S is cellulose. We can see the outer boundary. of the plant cell. This outer boundary of the plant cell is made up of the cell wall, and this cell wall is made up of the cellulose. It is present only in the case of the plant cell. It is not present in the case of the animal cell. Then we can see the large vacuoles. We can see the large vacuoles in the case of the plant cell. Large vacuoles. L-A-R-G, large vacuoles. V-A-C-U-O-L-E, large vacuoles. We can see the large vacuoles in the case of the plant cell. Then after we can see the chloroplast pigment. Can you see the chloroplast pigment, Macha? The plant cell contain the chlorophyll pigment or the chloroplast pigment. Can you see this one, the chloroplast pigment? Yeah, chloroplast pigment. We can see the chloroplast, C-H-L-O-R-O-P-L-A, chloroplast. This chloroplast are the pigment which help the plant in the synthesis of the protein. This chloroplast are the pigment which help the plant to synthesize their own food or to prepare their own food. So my child, a plant cell contains the cell wall. This cell wall is made up of cellulose. It contains the large vacuoles. It contains the plastic. P-L-A-S-T-R-D, plastic in the form of the chloroplast. It contains the plastic It contains the plastid in the form of the chloroplast, which help the plant to synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. And after this, the rest of the structures, whether they are the mitochondria or the endoplasmic reticulum or the ribosomes or the Golgi apparatus, all of them are there in the case of plant cell as well as the animal cell. So mitochondria is also there, endoplasmic reticulum is there, ribosome is there, Golgi apparatus is there. So we can see the Golgi apparatus. We can see the nucleus, and we can see the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. We can see the mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. We can see the endoplasmic reticulum. Which help in the synthesis and storage of the cell product. Then we can see ribosomes. So these are the other structures which are represented in the case of the plant cell as well as the animal cell. So it is the Golgi apparatus, the mitochondria, these are the ribosomes, and it is the endoplasmic reticulum. So these are the different parts of the plant cell. And before that, what I am explaining about the structure of the animal cell is so what are the structure which we have drawn as the structure of the generalized cell. The structure of the generalized cell can act for the structure of the animal cell. So what I have drawn and shown you about the generalized cell, these generalized cells will work as the animal cell. So now let us see the animal cell. So we have seen this animal cell, it contains the outer boundary of the cell. It is called the cell membrane. Then after the cytoplasm, then the nucleus. Then we have seen the mitochondria is there, then the Golgi apparatus is there, then the endoplasmic reticulum is there, then we have seen the ribosomes are there, vacuoles are small, we have seen, then centrosome is there. What are centrosomes? Centrosomes are the special type of the materials which are being present in the case of the animal cell, which help in the cell division. Centrosomes are the special type of the structures which help in the division of the cell. Then we have seen about the lysosomes. Lysosomes are there, and the endoplasmic reticulum. So just all of the structures. It means what are the structure which we have drawn for the generalized cell, that structure can work for the animal cell. So it was all about the plant cell and the animal cell. Now my children, we are going to come to see the difference between the plant cell and the animal cell. Let us see the difference between plant cell and animal cell. Plant cell and animal cell. Difference between plant cell and the animal cell. So let us see. Here plant cell, here animal cell. So my child, plant cell contain cell wall present, and here cell wall absent. The second one, my child, cytoplasm dense. Cytoplasm is not dense. Dense means thick. Yes, cytoplasm is dense. Cytoplasm is dense. Dense means thick. Dense means thickness, whether it is thick or thin. Now third one here contain large vacuoles. Large vacuoles are there. It contains the small vacuoles. Small vacuoles. Small vacuoles. Then the fourth one, it contains the plastids. Plastid present. And here plastid absent. Plastid absent. Then my child, after this with the fifth one, centrosome. CENTROSOME. Centrosome absent. Here centrosome present. Centrosome present. Centrosome is being present. Here we have 8 in this with the sixth one, lysosomes. LYSOSOME, lysosomes absent. Here lysosomes present. Lysosomes present. So my child, like this my child, the plant cell and animal cells are different from one another. Plants have the cell wall, animal cells do not have the cell wall. Cytoplasm is not dense. Here the cytoplasm is dense. Dense means thickness. Here large vacuoles are there in the case of plant cell. In the case of the animal cell, small vacuoles are there. In the case of plant cell, plastids are present. In the case of animal cell, plastids are absent. Here plastid means the chloroplast. Here plastid means the chloroplast or the chlorophyll pigment. In the case of the plant cell, centrosomes are absent. In the case of animal cell, centrosomes are present. What are centrosomes? Centrosomes are a special type of the structures which help in the division of the cell. So they are absent in the case of the plant, they are present in the case of the animal. Then plant cell do not contain lysosomes. Plant cell do not contain lysosomes. Animal cell contain lysosomes. So in this way, the plant cell and the animal cell differ from one another. Now after this, I will come to the next topic, that is going to say about the कितने मिनट हो गए? 31. Just last 2 minutes. Now growth, GROWTH, growth in a cell. My children, how does the cell grow? How does the cell grow? Actually, when cell reaches a certain size, the cell multiplies. When cell reaches a certain size, or when the cell become mature, the cell divides into the 2 equal parts. And when the cell divides into 2 equal parts, the 2 new cells are being formed. And again, when these 2 new cells which have been formed, they will become mature. They will once again divide and they will form the 4 cells. So my child, suppose this is the cell. Once this cell have attained maturity, or when the cell is fully grown up. So growth in the cell or the multiplication in the cell. When the cell have reached certain size, it will divide into 2 equal parts. And when these 2 cells will reach their maturity or fully grown up, they will again divide into 2 equal parts. But in this way, it will also divide into equal parts. Like this, the cell division goes on, or the cell increase in the number. And when the cell increase in the number, what happens? The growth takes place in an ordinary body. When the cell increase in the number, by the process of multiplication. The growth takes place in the case of the plant, animals, and human body. So first of all, when the cell have attained its maturity, or when the cell have been fully grown up, this cell divide into the 2 equal part. When these cells will again reach their maturity, or they will be fully grown up, these cells will again divide into 2 equal part. Like this, the number of cells in the organism's body. Will increase, and the organism will reach its organ will grow in the shape and the size. So that is called the growth in the cell. How does the growth take place in the cell? So my child, once again I am revising. First of all, suppose this is the cell. When this cell reaches its maturity, or when the cell has been grown fully in its structure, this cell divides into 2 equal parts. So 2 cells are being formed. When these 2 cells will again reach their maturity, or when they will fully grown up, they will again divide into 2 equal parts. This cell will divide into 2 equal parts, this cell will divide into 2 equal parts. like this the number of cells, like this the number of cells will keep on increasing in the body of the organisms, and the growth and development can be seen in the body of the plant, animals, or the human body. Like this by the increasing of the number of the cells in the body of an organism by the process of cell division, is called the cell division. It leads to growth and development in the body. My child. So when the cell divide, the cell increase in the number, and when the cell increase in the number, the growth and the development take place in the body of an organism. So my children, by this chapter has got completed our lesson number 7, the cell structure and the function. So beta, in our next class beta, we will give the question answers of this lesson. So please complete these question answers when I will give it, and learn these lessons well. So it was all about the lesson number 7. Thank you very much.